holy dog shit. CW just dropped a fucking teaser on us real fast for Elseworlds right before our Arrow review episode. So, hi everybody, welcome to Phantom Zone Arrow review. Plus, oh my god, the Elseworld teaser is awesome.
It's so crazy.
It's
like the fast boy.
You're fast boy today.
Fast boy.
Cowboys fast boy. Real quick, I'm Connor McGraw. Who else is here?
Arlen Haro, as usual.
Hunter Downfort's here. Also, Tallboy's here, but I keep him in a cage in my room.
Yeah, no emissaries in the Loud Dimension tonight, unfortunately.
Yeah, nope. Uh-uh.
No, they've been banished for a while now. So, yeah.
And I'm Lou Gonzalez, and this teaser may have made Smallville relevant again.
Yeah, possibly.
Okay, so let's by the time this episode comes out, this teaser may be a few days old, but for those who may not get around to it in the next few days, we're going to break it down for you and probably dissect this real fast. I'm away from the mic. Hold on. There I am. So we have a teaser from Earth 90, which is John Wesley Shipp's The Flash Earth from the 90s. Earth 90.
Great. God damn it, I didn't realize that.
Did that show air in 1990?
1990 to 91, I believe. God damn it.
It came out the same year as Batman Returns.
I would
say
one before Mantis.
Also,
the Flash 1990 TV show. Yep.
Let's do something. So in this universe, I mean, I'm sure they've said this before. There are not 52 Earths. There are seemingly infinite Earths, which is
it's more like the Marvel universe.
Yeah.
Well, Harry said there are 52 known Earths.
Okay.
And Earth X was the 53rd.
Earth X was the 53rd, and I think Earth X is classified that way because who the fuck would want to go there? Like, you'd go to the Wasteland Earth before you go to Nazi Earth.
It's the universe we shall not name.
Yeah. It's I guess for universal travelers that'd be it'd be like North Sentinelese Island. You shouldn't fucking go there. You might get shot by arrows.
Man, it's the North Korea of the universes.
So this teaser has John Wesley Shipp's Flash as the sole survivor amongst foundations of bodies that look like members of the Justice Society and the Justice League.
From all different eras.
From all different eras, and we're almost positive we saw Green Arrow from Smallville. There's definitely Citizen Cold or Captain Cold, Stargirl, both Hawk helmets, the Ray, Huntress, Firestorm,
Adam Strange, maybe.
Adam Strange.
Definitely Jesse Quick. It looks like
Jesse Quick potentially.
Two unknown bodies that
there is a huge amount of people that could be in this pile of destruction here. And basically, John Wesley Shipp's Flash walks up to the Monitor, who's holding some book, and he says, "Why are you doing this?" The Monitor basically says, "Now it's time for everyone to perish."
Yeah, he says, "You failed."
Yeah, he says, But he says, "Why did you do this?" He says, "You did this because you failed," or something like that.
You failed this universe.
No, we're not doing that.
It's better than if he said we are the Monitor.
We are the Monitor.
Oh god, and it's like fucking Tom Hardy shows up and makes out with the Monitor.
Right.
This is really because they can do so many things and just be like, all right, we want to have all these characters, and you just have one off and just kill them because they're in this other Earth, and just to tease everybody.
You don't even have to put. You don't even need actors for this. Just put fucking extras in costumes.
Yeah, because of the cool ones, we've seen Stargirl and Huntress, we just haven't seen them in forever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and the same they've teased the Hawks since season 1, but we just don't talk about season 1 of Legends.
More or less, yeah. But I hope this is actually I hope there's a little bit of this scene in the actual crossover.
I feel like this is the opening. I
would agree. I think it's
110%.
Yeah, this is because I don't know if anybody remembers, but days before the 50th anniversary of Doctor Who, they were releasing the first few minutes in little chunks, and this feels like a very similar thing that they're doing here by just showing little bits. I wouldn't be surprised if we get another clip sometime.
I will say we've said it over and over again. As even if the seasons by themselves are bad. Like
Yep.
some seasons of Arrow and some seasons of Flash so far. Like collectively, I am very appreciative of this little pocket of shows because they are not afraid to go like balls to the wall as far as just like comic book goodiness.
Mm-hmm.
They dig.
This is a fucking treat.
They go to the bottom of the toy box for some characters.
Yeah.
What kind of the larger entity?
They're like it's like they're not like someone's like you can't use Batman. Here's Superman. And they're like, okay, instead of using Batman, we'll get everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone. And we're even getting a Batman surrogate. We're getting Batwoman.
Right.
We've gotten Ra's al Ghul. We've gotten what other crazy characters that have we gotten through the different shows? We got King Shark. Okay, we've gotten King Shark on multiple occasions, like 6 times at this point.
Yeah,
Ragdoll's been in it. Like
we got Ragdoll. That was awesome.
Ragman was the lead character on a show.
Yeah.
Oh, another character who we shall not name again.
Wow.
Like, I need new rags. I'll be back.
That's all I want. Where's the question?
He's the one that makes the least sense why he's not on these shows.
Yeah, where is he?
I feel like somebody has the rights to him. Maybe he's tied up to like Suicide Squad 2 in some way or something.
They're making a fucking movie.
He would look so cool on screen, and they could easily do another show, like a Jessica Jones-esque type show.
Here's the thing. It is James Gunn doing Suicide Squad 2, so like
yeah,
and he's probably getting carte blanche as to who he picks for the Suicide Squad.
Mm-hmm.
So like I don't know. The question is not out of the question.
Also, the first movie took place in the city, right? Am I correct in that?
What was that?
The first movie took place in like the Question's place. I can't remember what it's called. Not
Hub
Central City.
Hub City.
Hub City. Yeah, that's where it took place. So I could see that. It's like a
really they did a bad job of establishing that.
Yeah, they did. There was like
honestly, I thought it took place in like nondescript next door Gotham, like
Hub City. I was like, oh, Hub City. Is there any reason for calling it Hub City? No, not at all.
I just hope that Gunn finds like some small like animal that is in the DC lore that he can just like kill off real quick in the beginning. Or like a tree person's just light on fire.
You mean
there is a DC equivalent of Rocket Raccoon, isn't there?
I would say you mean Detective Chimp?
Well, there's Detective Chimp. There's also what's the squirrel Green Lantern?
There's also who's the cat Red Lantern?
Oh yeah, I don't think they touched the Red Lanterns yet.
No, that's what is his name?
He's awesome though. That cat's badass.
It's got like a really sad backstory.
Oh, it's got like most heartbreaking backstory.
That cat murders that fucking gold-beaked Green Lantern in Injustice 2, the comic line, by slashing his throat.
Omar, right?
But this teaser is fucking bonkers.
Yeah.
I am very high on the CW stuff at the moment.
Yeah.
Very high.
I mean, the fact that they're doing the Monitor, and this is all like, so they're doing Crisis like next year or the year after. Like they're gonna
probably we've been waiting for it.
And I wasn't sure if that's what they were showing us with this. If this was supposed to be Crisis,
someone's got to correct me because I haven't read Crisis on our Infinite Earths in like 20 years. I thought the Monitor was a good guy.
He is a good. Well, he's like a non-partisan.
He's neither here nor there.
He's like the Watchers. Like he's just there.
Okay, and the anti-Monitor is straight up evil.
The anti-Monitor is like the anti-existence. He wants to erase all things.
Okay, so that's objectively evil.
As opposed to like Darkseid, who wants to control all things.
Yeah,
Monitor just wants to erase their existence. Anti-Monitor is Galactic.
All right,
kind of right.
And by doing Monitor, they're very like. There's going to be an anti-Monitor tease at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Like my opposite, you will not like him, or something like that. Something.
If you think I'm bad, you wait until you meet the other one.
Yes, something to that extent.
Didn't they say there's some description that somebody gets a hold? The reason why the switcheroo happens
Is that
I'm guessing it's that book. Someone gets a hold of the book and changes things.
Yeah, Dewey Crow from Justified gets it. Yeah, it looks like. And he messes shit up, I guess, from within Arkham Asylum.
Shit up.
Yeah, it's pretty tight. it's lit, as the kids say.
Mary Litmus.
But there's like the seasons are short, but it's the amount of content they stuff into is pretty huge. I mean, we could probably talk about that for hours. Unfortunately, we do have to review Arrow for a few episodes.
Fortunately, we have to talk about Arrow.
But fortunately, Arrow is awesome.
Yeah,
so far.
Amazing so far, I would say.
There's a few things to nitpick. One being the longbow hunters.
Yeah, like just because of how weird they are. But
they're
The local hunters of the comics.
They're kind of dumb.
they look like a bunch of dorks.
they're dumb, but
super
like,
strength shield guy.
yeah, but here's the thing: they're dumb, but they're dumb in the way that this universe needs. In a way that makes sense.
Can I ask? Does anybody see the one girl? I guess she's a redhead, and just be like, did they steal that off of like the GI Joe set? Her outfit.
Oh yeah.
It
I
is
mean,
insane.
I instantly think like, is that Sarah Palin? Did they get a Sarah Palin?
I think that says more to you when you see a woman wearing glasses.
Well, no, it's not just that. It's her hairstyle. The other one I would pull is she looks a lot like Bayonetta, which is interesting.
It does look like Bayonetta.
Yeah.
What?
Wow.
No, but
that's
she
a
looks a lot
reference
like.
I think I'd ever hear coming from you.
I used to watch
That's
G4 all the time, so yes, I know what Bayonetta is. Yeah.
That is a me reference. That is not an Arlo.
All I see is I think it's Baroness is the character's name.
Yeah, she
Yeah,
does. look like Bayonetta.
Yeah, a little bit. I guess if her hair was a little, the hair is what's really triggering some of these things.
Bayonetta and like I think this girl are all interchangeable,
Yeah.
and that is not. I don't think that's like that is not me insulting the design, but it's like. Looks,
And then, dude who looks like a knockoff from Vikings, like he looks like he was on Vikings
he's the worst.
episode. I don't know. I really like them. I like the woman who's clearly wearing Vixen's costume because
Wait, the woman who's wearing what?
she's clearly wearing Vixen's costume. Like it's quite literally her costume.
I'm pulling up an image. I remember I saw that episode on a while back, but I gotta pull up an image of them from the show.
Well, she was in this episode, in the most recent episode that we're reviewing. She's the one tied to the chain to the ground.
Oh shit, that's right.
She's totally wearing Vixen's costume. They desaturated it so that you can't really tell.
The only one that they really use her name because they call her name 50,000 times. It's Silencer, which is
the
like
Silencer.
She's a new part of the Rebirth line, like character.
Yeah, and I mean, she works really well with two canaries on the show. So
Yeah, she's the most interesting and like the least goofy of the set.
yeah, I don't know. I just
the two women looked fine, and then this douche with his toy shield.
The smallest shield ever. That
The smallest buckler to ever exist.
I mean, here's the thing. I actually lived through season 4, unlike the rest of me.
hey, I did too.
I know, but there's still.
Yeah.
The point is, I lived through that season, and I lived through what's his face. Just like every time Oliver tried to do shit, just like, oh, your arrows, I'm going to catch them, and then I'm going to throw them away, and then I'm going to push you up against a wall with my force choking powers, and that's the end of the episode because you can't touch me.
Oh, Damien Dark?
Episodes, yes. Yeah, I had to sit through Damien Dark winning every single episode, and it seemed like, what's the point of this? Why is Oliver fighting this guy? This is not an Oliver thing. This is a somebody else thing. This is a Legends of Tomorrow thing, almost.
Yeah, inserting it says a lot when the idea of time travel in Arrow is much more feasible than and acceptable than introducing like a fucking sorcerer.
Yes, yeah, it is. So like these characters, at least, yeah, they're goofy, but they're grounded and they make sense as Arrow villains, each of them individually.
Well, we don't know a whole lot about the two in their power sets because the one girl's like a tech girl that shoots darts.
I think she'll do as a meta.
Red Dart.
He has to be because he is throwing people around.
Yeah, I mean, we see the new Green Arrow do some things in the latest episode.
Here's the problem with the new Green Arrow. This person is infinitely more cool than Oliver has ever been because this person's doing some radical shit.
Yes, he's doing climbing the buildings to take a video of yourself, like stunned, and things like that. Like,
also, like whoever this actor is just really on point with all their fine movements. Like, it's the third episode we're technically reviewing, but it's when he saves Zoe and like drops in, looks up, and does like a very precise aim up and out, like a fucking Batman grapple. I'm like, this person's too good at this. Like, this person's way good. Also,
proficient.
It's totally a girl. Those eyes are very feminine.
I still think it's Tommy, not Tommy.
William.
William. I still think it's William.
Why can't a guy have feminine eyes?
It's not that they're just like. They're very, very large, pronounced feminine eyes.
What if he's just really pretty? What if he's just really pretty?
Well, there's also a few theories that it's potentially two other women. It's potentially this blonde chick Maya, shit.
Is that the Street Fighter girl that they've been talking about? And like,
yes, and like, what if it's Thea?
I could see.
Think it's Thea.
But Thea, they wrote her out for a reason. Because I don't think she has the time to be on the show as much anymore. But yeah, there's a lot of things that could be. I do see the woman thing, especially when Dinah walks up on fucking Wild Dog and the new Green Arrow, and they're like talking, and he's like, "I'm on your side, remember?" Just how thin he is, like the new Green Arrow.
Yeah,
like it could be Wild Dog's daughter from the future.
It could be also. That's the other thing. It could totally be Zoe, which that reveal.
Okay, wait. We're missing the obvious joke here. It's
Patty Spivot.
I want it to be Patty Spivot though. Now that's
fucking Patty Spivot. Let's go in order here. So the first episode we're talking about is the Longbow Hunters, where we meet these three goofballs. Yeah. The Longbow Hunters arrive in Star City, and they basically team with Diaz, who is like noticeably absent for a few episodes here.
Yeah, for a little bit. Well, he like shows up occasionally for like 10 minutes at a time. It seems, and then he disappears.
And then he's like, "I gotta find Oliver Queen.
I'm gonna find our train.
This impression never gets old."
I have so many questions about what's going on with him in this season.
Dude, I think I heard rumblings that, like, I'm not too far ahead yet because I did fall behind, but, like, I think he gets, I don't want to say he gets superpowers, but I heard he gets a buff.
That's my questioning. I haven't seen the most recent episode, but they're definitely implying he's doing something. Because remember, they started with, what was the thing he was giving Diggle?
Oh, it was that steroid.
Yeah. So he's definitely been doing something. He's like Captain American kind of stuff. And he's the fourth part of the Longbow Hunters.
Okay.
I guess.
I'm reading the Longbow Hunters like Wikipedia page right now.
It has nothing to do with this. It's just like the name of the book.
I think one of them is definitely Brick, though, right? Or supposed to be, because like that girl is definitely Red Dart. Unless
no, Brick is in the show. Brick is what's his name?
Brick is in Slapside. It's Vinnie Jones.
Yeah, Vinnie Jones is Brick.
Yeah,
Brick is in. Brick, Ron's Tiger, and Stardust.
Stardust, made up character.
Yeah.
It's Cody. It's Cody
Rhodes.
It's the son of the plumber. No, I'm sorry. He's the son of the plumber. So, wait.
Do not make me do a Dusty Rhodes impression.
Yeah, he's the son of the plumber, man. Okay. This is Cody. You're doing a good job in Arrow. Okay, I love it.
Do my bicycle.
Sweet Sapphire. Arlen's like, who is this person? This is it's a deep cut wrestling reference. Dusty Rhodes is a fucking huge star in the 70s and 80s.
Yeah, I was gonna say he was old as dirt when I was watching it.
Dusty Rhodes was one of those people who came into the wrestling business and people were like, "Oh, you don't have to be a fucking Adonis to do this," because Dusty Rhodes is built like
this guy.
He's from like a Bundy kind of era.
Yeah, he's built like a fucking plumber. Like he's just his theme song was just he's just a common man.
him and dude with like platinum white hair, they were like rivals, right?
Ric Flair? Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, and you remember Goldust? You remember Goldust, right?
I've vaguely.
Goldust is Dusty's other son, so Cody and Goldust are brothers.
Yeah, Goldust is the oldest, right?
Yeah,
and I think there's another one, isn't there?
Looks like Dusty.
He looks crazy. I think there might be a third son. I don't remember
because I think Cody's like way younger than.
Yeah. There's a bunch of Flair kids, but David Flair's dead.
Oh, I did not know that.
No, Reed Flair is dead. I think David Flair's dead too.
Because I actually remember when he was doing stuff in WWE.
Yeah, and I think. And Charlotte's obviously still alive. She's a very prominent WWE roster member. But yeah, I think Reed and David are both dead. I don't know.
Well, it's not like they had a great.
Exactly. But anyway, Cody is the other made up character, but like he like fits in this universe very well.
Oh yeah. I do actually
also like that. His relationship with Cody Rhodes has produced some really wacky stuff. Like Stephen Amell takes pro wrestling pretty seriously and has basically gotten in with several big international stars and does like wrestling pay-per-views in the off seasons. And I think
I'm sure it's also mutually beneficial because like if they need said person to be a giant dude in the show to like throw.
Yeah, like now they actually what's cool about that is that Amell basically has access to a pool of stunt actors who can be on camera, have presence, and take a punch.
By the way, Kodiak is the dude with the shield. So
his name is Kodiak. Oh, okay.
That's pretty dope, actually. I like that.
But yeah, Stephen Amell wrestled Christopher Daniels earlier this year, and Christopher Daniels is like a 45-year-old wrestling veteran. And Daniels like got on Twitter afterwards and was like, "That dude knows what he's doing, loves doing this, and is willing to do whatever we ask him to do." Like, and it's still funny to see Amell in a ring and like. Stephen Amell is a very large man. He's a very in shape man. And you put him in the ring with like wrestlers and you're like, look how small he is.
Tiny boy.
I'm looking up Kodiak also, by the way, and he's head of the Shield clan, which I assume is a.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
If that is where they're going,
yeah.
I have read that story. That was a New 52, the second reboot. Mm-hmm. And it was actually an awesome story, and that is where I believe Emiko comes from.
Yeah,
which is half sister.
That is the other theory of who the new.
I would love that because I love Emiko.
Yeah.
The problem is, and like I think someone said, like because they're going into a little bit more of Oliver's father, that they might go into the fact that Oliver's dad had kind of an affair and produced an illegitimate child who would be Emiko.
Yeah, so the story that so in the book, Shadow, the character Shadow comes from the Longbow Hunters book. In the story with like the clans, Oliver's father had an affair with Shadow, this like new revamped version, and their daughter is Emiko. And the queens are the descendants of the Arrow tribe. There's Arrow, Shield, Fist, I think spear, knife, sword, dagger. There's like 9 tribes. Katana's the head of the sword tribe.
I like how because it's comic books, it can't just be like, yeah, we're a family. Or like Swamp Thing is like, yeah, he's a Swamp Thing. It's like, no, they're descendants of this tribe, and Swamp Thing's part of the Green. And now in DC, there's like the Speed Force, the Sage Force, the Strength Force.
It was a cool concept because the idea was like that they like Shadow became a villain, and if she offed Oliver, then her daughter, then Emiko would become the bearer of the totem. And if you're the bearer of the totem, you're like boss. I don't know, like you're awesome.
So this plays into totems as well.
Yeah, well, the totems meaning like the shield that the guy has would be like you're like the totem makes you the leader.
Yes.
of like ancient gangs.
I thought you meant totems as in the
No,
green.
like they're not magical really, but like
Okay.
a Katana sword is one of the totems. Like it's like a
Okay.
weapon.
So Kodiak's shield is probably like the shield totem.
Yes.
I would guess. Which, yeah, they're setting some stuff up. I think, which I'm very interested to see what they do with that. Also, Kodiak was a member of the Outsiders, but it's a different Outsiders.
Arlen,
Hey,
this
that's
is your fucking white whale.
It is. I will go down with the ship.
I mean, at this point, I'm convinced they listen.
They do. They must.
Okay, no, here's the thing. Like, calling Young Justice Season 3 Young Justice The Outsiders, like, come on.
Yeah. It's all an elaborate plot. I don't know what I did to somebody in another life, but
Speaking of that, Arlen, you should really need to start watching that show because Season 3 is coming out pretty soon.
I'll give it a try again. I could that first episode really, yeah, it just didn't.
Man, it gets fucking good. Especially when you get to Superman, Superman treats Superboy like he's like, I'm going to go get cigarettes, and never comes back.
What
was that? I didn't hear anything from you two were talking about either.
Yeah, there was some crosstalk. Damn you, audio! I said, go. I'm gonna go hang out with Body by Jake.
Man, the cross pollination of jokes is getting a little hard to keep up with. Because we were doing movie dumps the other day, and I was like, we were referencing jokes from like yesterday's Target, and I was like, man, the people who don't keep up with this episodically are gonna be very lost.
Yeah.
Young Justice is fucking great, and once the Superboy clone comes around, Superman's like, sure, I'll teach you how to use your powers, but I have to go to the bathroom. Bye. And Batman's like, you son of a bitch, where are you going? Like, I think at some point Bruce sits down with Clark and he's like, yeah, you're going to have to spend at least 10 minutes with him and kind of teach him how to do this shit because, like, he doesn't know what he's doing. And Superman's like, no. It just leaves.
And people call me a bad dad.
Alfred, am I a bad father? Duh.
My favorite though is it the movie they did, and I love when like they have Bane do the thing and they give him the stupid voice, and then
he's Spanish when he's small guy, but then he hits the venom and he becomes Tom Hardy Bane.
Yes, so that and I was there.
Oh my god, Vandal Savage being there and everybody's origin story.
Dude, and it's just like if he said I was there one more time, and he's like, but I was.
That and the opening of Court of Owls, where Alfred tells the story of Bruce's upbringing by telling it through his perspective. When I mean Alfred's perspective, Bruce is like, he's like, I'm afraid of monsters, and Thomas Wayne's like, there's no such thing as monsters, and Alfred just knocks on the door and goes, yes, there are. He's lying. And then it goes like, what is it? Bruce is like, you'll never leave me, right? And he's like, we're not going anywhere. He's like, you'll stay forever, forever and ever, forever and ever until the end of time, until the end of hard cut to the Wayne's dead bodies in the alley. Everybody should go watch Young Justice Abridged. It's fucking good. Actually, just everything on DC Universe Abridged. And now they have a playlist called the DC Universe Abridged in chronological order. So you can follow this little abridged universe they've made from the start of the Justice League all the way up to the current timeline, basically.
Huh.
It's really fucking cool. There's some weird production inconsistencies because it's in chronological order in their timeline as opposed to production. So, like, you're through to, like, I think Justice League War is the first movie they do. Then you get to Young Justice Abridged Season 1, and, like, the audio quality's a little off, but the comedy's there. But episode 1, I think, has Mr. Freeze on a rampage because his cat died.
I do also love their version of Cyborg that he like will randomly play songs because he's like a boombox with like the mother box.
He can't help it either. He's just playing music.
And their version of Black Manta that is just like like with the T-Pain voice.
Oh, Black Manta. His mask auto-tunes his voice, so everything he says sounds like this. This has been a glowing endorsement of Young Justice Bridge. Arrow season 7 is also fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
But the episode 2 was the Longbow Hunters, and it had some like I said, the Longbow Hunters kind of show up and they steal a weapon. That's pretty much all you see of them in this episode, or for a few episodes until Silencer is kidnapped.
I think they try to steal a weapon and then Diggle stops them, but they get away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Felicity and Diggle kind of have a little spat over how to deal with Diaz. The cool thing I like so far in the season is that like vigilantism has been outlawed since Ollie went to prison, and everyone's like, now things will go back to the way they were supposed to be, and none of it works.
Mhm.
Well, it works everywhere except in the Glades.
Yeah.
Which I do think is an interesting thing where like they have like their town hall meeting. I don't remember which one of these episodes, and it's like, yeah, we were way better off with the vigilantes because they actually would show up.
Yeah. And then they say like the police don't show up. He's like we're not a priority. What else is here? Laurel is the district attorney. That was, I think, established in the last episode. But her and Dinah now work together, which is pretty interesting.
Dinah's the new chief.
Yeah.
She took over what's his name's role.
Yeah.
Papa Lance.
Papa Lance, yes.
Yeah, whose name escapes me for some reason. God damn it. I liked him too. What the fuck is happening to me?
Yeah, I know the actor's name, but I can't think of the character's name.
Yeah, that poor guy. God, he just life shut down on him and then killed him.
Yeah. Paul Blackwood, I believe. That's his.
Yeah.
That's his name.
He only had to like have like his daughters die 5 times.
Oh God. Yeah.
In prison, Oliver's having a rough time. He's trying to keep his head down, but like pretty much the entire prison is like, nah.
Yep.
Is this our first introduction to his like cell neighbor?
Stanley?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like he's not who he says he is. Like he's somebody.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's some developments later on that I know of.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's also Hunter. He is one of the kids from. He's one of the escapees in Freddy vs. Jason.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Oh shit, that's right. He is.
He's Will's friend in Freddy vs. Jason. The two of them escaped from damn it, what is the asylum they have in Springwood?
I can't remember.
But yeah, he's the one who gets killed in his bathroom.
Oh, I thought you were
Right.
He's the dude who takes a bong hit with a Freddy worm.
Is he the guy who stabs Jason with 2 fucking like needles or whatever?
No, that's the J ripoff.
Oh yeah.
He's the one who said he's the one who claims his brother was killed by Freddy and no one believed him, so he was sent to the asylum.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And he has a dream where he's in his bathroom and his brother comes out of the bloody bathtub.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, that scene is really awesome. And there's deleted scenes where like Freddy made him like vomit up eels, and a whole bunch of other shit in that sequence. There's some crazy stuff going on there. But no, Stanley is a little sketchy. But Oliver has to, I think, get rid of a prison guard for Brick because he's trying to play ball with these people to get some information, or at least have a civil lifestyle in there. It's in exchange for info. That's what it was.
Right. Yeah. And then, believe it or not, Brick betrays him.
Yeah.
Vinny the guard in an awesome way.
Vinny Jones is a villain? No way.
Yeah, I'm so shocked.
I do like how they're playing. What's his name? Bronze Tiger, though.
Yeah. Yeah. Like he's an enforcer, but like he doesn't necessarily want to be. He's
no, and that's more similar to his combo character, where he's kind of like morally gray, like kind of Deathstroke, where he's just like a mercenary.
Yeah,
I really like Michael Jai White in this fucking show.
Mm-hmm. He's great.
He's great. He's been great since the beginning. Really, like he's part of what made season 1 watchable because his fights with Oliver would be
because he's a real martial artist.
Yeah,
like Hollywood style martial.
I will say aside from like some noticeable production goofs, like Oliver's prison cell looking like they stuck him into a storage closet in a Walmart and slapped a cell like a prison door over it.
Yeah.
Honestly, it looks like a dimly lit version of the prison from the story of Ricky.
Yeah.
How many of us have seen that movie?
I have seen that movie.
I think I have.
Yeah. Ricky Ho?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what it's commonly known as, where Ricky Ho punches a man and he explodes.
Whoa. Okay.
And so you've never seen Ricky Ho?
I might need to see this though.
Punches like a
Okay, all right. Quickly. Ricky Ho is a Chinese adaptation of Fist of the North Star.
Okay.
With it's a really shitty adaptation that trades out
really
everything you know about Fist of the North Star and keeps in basically the fact that he has bullet holes in his chest and he can punch people when they pop.
Yeah.
And everything else has changed. And he goes to a prison where it's run by this gang of 4 inmates and their names are Tarzan, Oscar, Rogan, and something else. And at some point the main character is fighting someone, and in order to defeat Ricky, this guy commits seppuku on himself, pulls out his own intestines, and attempts to strangle the main character with them.
Oh.
Okay. That escalated quickly.
Yeah. There was a scene that was used for the moment of Zen on The Daily Show, and Jon Stewart played it 4 times in a row. He was like, one more time, let me see this. I will send you the scene after we're done recording. But we're also getting flash forwards, and the flash forwards are proven to be varied.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about them.
I like them. I mean, I like the return, I guess, to the split show format. I
actually do like that it's actually a 3-way split now.
Yeah.
I really like how they're like, this show needs more stuff. You know what we need? We need more flashbacks. No, wait. Flash forward.
We can't flashback the flashbacks caught up with us.
Which is something that I remember saying back in season 5. They should do this, and they probably will. And they did. And they're doing
I
them very
like
well.
that this story is not being told, in a linear way.
Yeah.
We are getting lots of it. And what we're getting is maybe not the guaranteed future, because we've already seen. Honestly, I think
Diana thing.
I think that episode of Legends of Tomorrow from season 1, where they go to a dark, future of Star City.
Yeah.
I think that someone was like, this is good, and we should revisit this a later time in a different way.
Yeah, let's revisit that concept.
It's the Star City where I think was it Slade's son, not the one that we saw last season, but the other one.
Yeah,
took over, and then this is also where we see John's son. Before he had a daughter.
Yeah, that's right. Maybe Flashpoint fucked that up.
Yeah, I think it did.
I think that's a future.
Okay, wow, Flashpoint actually changed something.
Yeah, but it made that future correct.
I mean, it seems like a lot of stuff is very different. I don't think Zoe was other Black Canary, it seems, or whatever she is.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a lot of that is very different. And Dinah wasn't there. So, lots of stuff has been altered.
And they tell you what happened to Felicity, but we'll get to that. But, no one's really said what's happened to Oliver.
No, not really. Which is interesting.
But William goes back to Leanne Yu, which is the first time we've seen it since Chase blew it up.
Yeah.
Which is nice, because I didn't think we'd ever go back to it. I do like that as soon as he gets there, he finds Deathstroke's grave, doesn't he?
I believe so.
I think it's the mask again, and then is it 3 graves there?
That's right. Yeah, he finds the mask. He finds 3 graves, and he finds the grave of Oliver's dad, doesn't he?
Yeah. Well, the graves are it's Oliver's dad, it's Shadow, and it's his mom.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
I think those are the 3.
Yeah,
because everybody else can kind of fuck off, I guess.
And on the island, he finds Roy living there like a savage for some reason.
Because he's Roy and he's all old and beefy.
Yeah,
super beefy.
He does look like he's been hitting the protein a little hard.
Yeah, and their old makeup is kind of hilarious. They're we kind of give him wrinkles around his mouth and then make him kind of overly tanned.
I mean, it's a little better than Dinah. Dinah got a gray streak, and they're just we're gonna put latex on your face.
Yeah.
But that's how this episode ends. Then we get into episode 3, Crossing Lines, which is the one I remember the least, to be honest.
This is the one where Felicity.
She convinces them to hack the building, right? Is that?
This is where she works with Wild Dog, I believe.
Right.
And
she talks to the FBI agent in that one, correct?
This is where Oliver starts to look for someone who's called the Demon, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right, Arlen. Yeah, she talks. She goes to the FBI person to go to the building because Diaz is going to steal some
Yes.
bacteria or
He's
chemical.
building something. Like I think he's gonna do some sort of terrorist attack, which is not outside of his MO. He was part of one dude's attack from last year. So
I can't believe that Diaz was like goon at number 4 for the first half of last season.
yeah, it was.
I always
Probably
kinda thought he was gonna
as,
do something more.
Huh?
I always kind of thought he was going to do something more because he is like a character in the comics. Although they have nerfed, like
They successfully downplayed him to the point where we thought he was nobody.
yeah.
And then did like a turn because I wasn't into what's his nuts, Hackerman.
Kilgore.
Yeah.
No,
No,
not him.
Chase or something like that.
No,
That was Adrian Chase was from Prometheus.
Oh, no, not Chase.
Who the fuck is this guy? The
guy.
I'm call him by his actor name, Michael Emerson.
yeah, like characters. I wasn't into his character until they decided to give us like really fucking sad backstory.
Yeah,
And I was like, oh man, everything he's doing makes so much more sense now. And then like Diaz just stabs him in the fucking throat. I'm like, oh god,
yeah.
poor man. But I like Diaz. He hasn't been around too much in this season so far.
Yeah,
I like the slow burn of him.
I think using the prison as a villain is more interesting, and like just having him be in the background. That's something they really haven't done. They haven't had a villain where you enter knowing who he is, knowing who that villain is, knowing what they're capable of.
Well, the comparisons to Flash are inevitable because we have to talk about the prison thing. But like, even Flash has seemingly abandoned the who is the villain because like we kind of figured out who Sakata was really quick.
Yeah,
I think they show us like episode 2.
Yeah. I don't think we know his name yet, but we know who he is. Like, there's no mystery. Like, he's a guy who works at a factory and has a daughter. Like, there's no mystery. It's not Savitar, Zoom, or Reverse Flash ever even.
Oh,
Again.
I think they say his name in like episode 5.
Yeah,
But the team doesn't know, but we, the audience, do.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. And you see his locker name and everything too. But like, no, it is fresh to know you're going to a season with a villain who's already there because like there's and honestly like they could have kept Chase around too.
I kind of
one and like
of that though.
Huh?
I feel like if you didn't finish him the way they did, like it takes away from everything.
Well, his ending was perfect because then when he came back as a hallucination last season, like I was floored.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
One because that character was so deliciously diabolical, and his chemistry with Oliver is fantastic.
Which, if I haven't said, it's hilarious to watch. He was in last season of Orange Is the New Black.
Was he?
As like, yeah, as like the goofy, dumb, like musclehead prison guard.
Oh my god!
Protein powder, and who's a complete moron.
That's
and
awesome.
He was great as it, and I was like, "Oh, this guy actually has like really good range."
Well, who was Ward in that other show, Arlen, from Iron Fist?
Fuck, what's his name? I can't remember. Shit. What was he? Wait, which show exactly?
And you were telling me, yeah, Iron Fist. You're telling me that Ward from Iron Fist was somebody was like the polar opposite of his season 1 character and something else. He was like a tattooed skinhead or something like that.
In Banshee, great show by the way. In Banshee, he's like a fucking ex skinhead, who's like on a redemption.
I love when you see someone like for the first time because that was the first time I've seen him, and you hear about them playing totally against that type somewhere else. Yeah. I've also never seen the actor who plays Chase before.
Yeah, I didn't even know he was before either.
You know what's funny is I just found out that Dinah was in The Walking Dead.
Yeah, she's like the girl with the hat, if I remember correctly.
She gets shot in the head by a child.
Yeah,
what a way to go!
And she looks completely different.
Yeah, one girl gets set on fire, like she hides under her body, I think.
Yeah. I also didn't know that she is the daughter of the former CEO of Warner Brothers Entertainment, I think.
In real life?
Yeah, the truth, right?
Yeah. Which like I'm thinking about that. I'm like, you're the daughter of a major studio player, and you're gonna do Arrow. Fucking good for you. Like that means you like this show.
There's a bunch of people like that. They're interesting because isn't I'm trying to think. I'm totally lost the name I was thinking, but you have the two Maras who do that.
Yeah, the two Maras are there, aren't they? They're
the granddaughters of the owners of the New York Giants.
Yeah, exactly. And they seemingly do whatever they want too. But I guess they do whatever they want because they're like, I don't need a protection ring. Like I have one. I can go do whatever I need to do.
Yeah.
But I like the actress who plays Dinah. They just don't know what the fuck to do with her character half the time.
They really don't.
She's getting better. Like they're not making her like angry bitchy lady, which they did last season.
God, she was insufferable last season.
And I don't mind her as being the person who's like, no, we have to respect law and order.
Yeah, her taking the hardline stance makes sense in this world.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like she's very much when she's not going insane over her boyfriend who she hasn't seen in a year or years. Like she's usually the person who's like, no, this is the rule. These are the rules, and this is how we do this. As long as
it's frustrating, but I do like there's someone who keeps looking at like the status of Star City and keeps saying like, no, we must have law and order, and like everyone else who really kind of sees the forest of the trees is like, okay, but it was better the other way because now we have no control of this situation, and we are held back by rules and a system that is consistently putting us through red tape and more red tape and more red tape and
Tony Stark.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Well, she's Tony Stark after Civil War, or like after he gets he's like, everything's fine. You killed my son. Nothing's fine.
What are you talking about?
Nothing's fine. I'm panicking.
I think is it episode 3 that Dinah arrests
Yes.
Renee?
Episode 4, yeah. Because
I don't remember if it's 3 at the beginning of 4 or at the end of 3.
At the beginning of 4, because she finds him with the other Green Arrow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which 4 was a really good episode.
Yeah. I'd rather kind of skim through 3 and go right to 4 because 4 is fantastic. I mean, 3 is when they capture Silencer.
And I really don't remember it. Also, that's important.
I don't remember it all. It's kind of there. Yeah. It's not bad.
It's just tie-in where like we learn about the demon. Felicity's kind of going darker, trying to stop Diaz.
Yeah. The prison stuff is interesting. Oliver and that like Fight Club. That was
that's something they do in literally every show. When
okay. Now that you mentioned again, but I want to say this too in comparison to Flash. Barry's prison sentence is a fucking joke.
Yeah,
and it's almost insulting to say like, well, Barry went to prison. No, he fucking didn't. Okay, he got a vacation for a few weeks.
Yeah,
like, nothing happened to him. He was never in any danger. He saved someone's. He got to do a great thing with Big Sur, and then he gets out on like the biggest, most laughable technicality in the history of technicalities. That to this day bothers me because like unless you ousted what's his face as the Thinker, then what you did would completely nullify getting Barry out of prison.
Yeah,
because that guy's still dead. Huh?
What they did is like super like unethical and illegal.
Oh, totally. Yeah. But I know Laurel is supposedly working on like finding a loophole to get Oliver out, and I guess it has to do with like the FBI not holding up their end of the bargain.
Yeah.
It's more about the treatment. Which fits into what starts to happen in episode 4.
Level 2 is some crazy stuff. So Oliver gets sent to level 2 of Slabside, where this like this dude who belongs in Arkham Asylum.
He's
be definitely a doctor. What's his name from Batman?
He's very Hugo Strange-ish.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Hugo Strange. Yeah,
I was going to say he should be treating Rorschach. Actually, like
that too. He reminds me of him too. But Oliver's basically put in this solitary cell that's very different from the top part of the prison where it's very grimy and gross. And he's put in this very pristine, high-tech looking cell, and this doctor comes in to basically just break him down. And like it may work or it may be a bluff, but through the course of this episode, like we get some heavy shit with Oliver. And
Oh,
and in the new lighting, they did a really good job of making Oliver look like he's been just through fight after fight after fight after fight. He looks better than John Bernthal did in Daredevil.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing is, I love the idea of the room that they put him in because it's flash. The lights are strobing, and there's like an insane sound that's going in and out. So like, he can't concentrate or think.
Yeah, he can't. He's trying to meditate later on this episode, and like they blast him with the lights and the sound, and he's like, ah. And the guy's like, you were meditating. He's like, how did you learn to do that? And he's like, Hong Kong.
Yeah.
And I like that this is. I kind of like the idea that there's no more dancing around to Oliver being the Green Arrow. Like everyone can come up to him and just be straight with him.
Yeah.
I know who you are. Quit the bullshit.
Yeah.
That's a little joke that his douchey neighbor says. Like, was it that they put in all the promos like WWGAD? What would Green Arrow do? And they put it in every stupid promo.
I did not know about that actually, but that's
it's in like episode 1. Whenever that guy shows up, it's like, oh, whatever, WWG, blah blah blah.
I also like. I want to say this because I forgot to say it when we started reviewing, but like, I like how they do it in Flash and Supergirl too, but the show intro changes per season.
Mm-hmm.
But now with Oliver, it's gotten so complicated. Like he's like, I was the Green Arrow. I was trapped for 5 years on an island, but then I went home and I became the vigilante, and then I became the mayor, and then I wasn't the mayor, and now I'm in prison.
It's like, my name is Oliver Queen. It's like, my name is Oliver Queen, and I'm inmate 54876.
Yeah. But I like the fact. I just like to imagine like the intro gets to like 7 minutes long, where he's like, "I am Oliver Queen, and here's my life story." It's like you're looking down your watch, you're like, "Jesus, we're only in season 3." I fought a sorcerer named Damien Dark, and then
yes, I did this, and then I did this,
and then I met a historian who took me into a time traveling ship for a few minutes, and then
I fought aliens once.
I fought
really weird.
I have a son who's in London.
I fought aliens
I
once.
fought a Nazi version of myself.
Then I fought me from another Earth.
I fought me and a version of my best friend.
And my other me's wife was Supergirl.
It was really weird, but like I was kind of into it.
And everyone's like, and then I woke up and I was this other guy and I had super speed.
Yeah.
Oh my god! Can you imagine
with that in the?
They fucking better do it where he's like, I am Oliver Queen and I'm the Flash.
Well, he's not Oliver Queen. He's Barry Allen.
He's like, I'm
him questioning. Like
he's like, I am Barry Allen and I'm the Flash.
I am Barry Allen, and yeah, he does. They should do their season 1 intros also.
Oh yeah,
It should be like.
Oh my god! I can't wait to hear Grant Gustin narrate the Arrow intro.
Yes.
I want to see. I hope they put the voice changer on him because otherwise it'll be.
Oh god! I can't wait for that. Yeah.
Oh, and here's the thing: we are absolutely getting a payoff of the joke from last crossover of super speed. I don't have it. We're getting a part 2 of that joke, and I can't fucking wait. I want him to show up, and Grant has to take a motorcycle, and Amel shows up and goes, super speed. I have it.
Yeah, or he's like, so this is what that feels like
to get here before everybody else does.
Yeah.
Although I would love if Grant did like a Batman to him and just like talking. And
oh, that's what that feels like. Yeah, I can't wait for that.
Okay, all right. I know we talked about Dark Knight Rises a bit in the Flash review, but I got to bring that up now because in the Dark Knight Rises, one thing that bugs me the most is that Catwoman does the Batman thing and disappears, and Batman turns around and goes, "So that's what that feels like." I'm like, why are you doing the voice? No one's around. No one's there.
Insane. That's my answer.
He's crazy.
In that universe, he's insane. You realize that he's
doing Bat voice at the end of the movie too, and he's like, what do you say to Gordon? He's like, yeah, I mean, if you even want to, you put a jacket over a little boy's shoulders.
Yeah,
dude, drop the voice. You're telling him who you are.
Right. Just do your voice.
My theory is that the bat suit is that new bat suit is perpetually choking him, so he's always constantly like.
Well, because they were dumb and they didn't do the thing that Arrow did, which is like, oh, we put like a voice modifier thing. So they did it anyway with computers.
Yeah, and like they got around that in BVS by just giving him a fucking modulator, and it sounds awesome.
Yeah,
they just need like one line of dialogue.
Yeah. But level 2 is some really good shit. And this doctor puts Oliver through the fucking ringer as far as psychological stuff goes, and he keeps using his son and his family against him as far as like a psychological tool to be like, you're a bad person, Oliver.
Well,
he's like, how many people have you hurt? He's like, lots. And he's like, how many people have you murdered? And Oliver just looks at him like, are you really going to ask me that question?
Yeah.
And he talks about, I do like the stuff with his father though, like he shouldn't have it. And it was just like so dark.
Well, it's hard to argue with that dude, but the problem is his intent is really shitty.
Oh, his intent.
So I'm like, what you're doing is really, really sour because I'm like, you're making valid points to really to further your agenda, not help this dude. Like, you're not trying to reevaluate this guy. You're trying to, you're trying to force this on him, and you're using really painful shit against him. And then like when he's in that machine and Oliver becomes his father and William takes Oliver's place and Oliver shoots himself in the head, I'm like, this is some really mental stuff.
Yeah.
But Felicity's trying to interrogate the silencer. It's not working because the silencer's like, you're new to this.
Mm-hmm. So she brings in Earth 2 Laurel. And we
oh my god, that was fucking fantastic. When Laurel comes in, she's like, maybe I'm not talking loud enough. And she's, you can tell she just sonic screams her.
Yeah, repeatedly. Which is great. I love that we don't even need to see the torture. We're like, yeah, we get it.
We know exactly what's happening. Also, it was cool to see Dinah use hers real quick because she kind of she arrests Renee for working with the new Green Arrow, who the new Green Arrow is basically Batman. He's fucking awesome, as we've established. She arrests Renee, and this is where I was like, Dinah sucks again. Because even Diggle comes in, he's like, so Renee called me and told me that you arrested him. And she's like, are you here to bail him out? He's like, nah, I'm just here to talk some sense into you.
I do like that they gave her kind of a mini arc though. That's appreciated. Like,
yeah, because she comes because I was worried that they were going to go back to angry, screaming, lame Civil War Dinah, but like she comes full circle at the end of it.
Yeah, and also like it's still 22 episodes. They didn't fill that space, so like having her be a little bit against it for 4 episodes is fine. If it had gone on longer, it would have been. Much more
sense. You have to have at least one of them. Like, no, I don't want to do that anymore. Like, we shouldn't. Yeah. Also, we signed deals. They can just put us in a box forever. And what was the point to what Oliver did?
Yeah, somebody who's like, yeah, no, we can't do that. This is.
Well, do that. And it's not just her. They also do it with oh my god, I always forget his name because they changed it from the comic.
He's in it, so like it's not. So he doesn't really have that position like Curtis.
Curtis, who I do love in this show. He is like the Ralph of this show in many ways.
Mm-hmm. The newer cast, and I say newer from I guess like season 5 on, like really stuck like almost immediately.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I love Renee. Renee's like one of my favorite characters.
Renee is awesome, and I really hope that I hope this is the team going forward, and there's no more shifts because like Thea and Roy kind of came and went.
Mm-hmm.
Also, it provides like different perspectives because you have the gigantic, genius, also athlete who is super open and throwing the fact that he's like gay and dating a cop.
There's that, and like he's very open about being like, look, I'm not a fighter. Like I'm really smart and I can make some cool tech and some stuff that'll help out in a fight. He's like, but I will get my ass kicked. Like,
and then. The fact that you also have like, and then Renee is like being like the voice of the like poor downtrodden in like the shithole part of the city.
Yeah.
Like,
Renee speaks for the people, and Dinah is the voice of the system. And I would say Diggle's almost like Diggle's on both sides of the fence because Diggle is like he's like I am an Argus agent. He's like, but I'm also a vigilante.
Yeah.
He's like I understand both sides of this coin, so he's kind of the one who can look at everything and go like, no, this is like everyone calm down over here and let's focus on this. And I love the new dynamics. And at first I was like, but I'm warming up to it. I like it better than what they're doing with Legends because Legends seem to they're putting an emphasis on the Time Bureau, and I didn't ask for that. I don't really want it because I still don't know. I still don't know what exactly they do or how it works.
They depending on where you're at, I'm like.
Well, I know they. Well, they bench somebody from the Wave Rider so they can put more emphasis on the Time Bureau, and I don't know if I like it. Because the Wave Rider's crew keeps shrinking, and they're not really
It's not though.
I know, but I'm not. Legends is not really grabbing me like it has the past few years.
Yeah, I'm behind a little bit, but yeah.
I'm digging that show. Maybe it's because I'm current with it.
I don't hate it. I don't even dislike it, but like it's not. For the last like 2 years, I was like, wow, Legends is fucking great, and they usually hit the ground running. But this year, I'm like, and I think maybe it's because it is kind of more the same from last season. It's still
it's definitely a lot of the same. But
my memory has always been that Legends always starts off a little bit slow. Like they don't always hit right out the gate. Like I remember season 2 being a little bit messy at first. It's just that there were some really good episodes in there.
The thing is,
the thing with season 2 is that season 2 got off the ground with Thawne killing. Who was it?
And that was a really good mystery. But
what the fuck was his name? One of the JSA members. Thawne shows up and murders one of them immediately.
Time guy. The clock man, something. Alan would know. Alan is screaming right now.
Alan is screaming right now.
It's not Commander Steel.
It was somebody.
Isn't it? It's Our Man.
Our Man, yes, yeah. Because he showed up at the end of Legend season 1.
Yeah, and he faded from. And he disappeared before he could finish his message. And Thawne was like, "Yeah, you disappeared. You were erased from the timeline like this," and she impales him.
Right. Yeah, and that was a really interesting way to start, but like the episodes after that were not all amazing.
The problem is they have to, because of the way that show works, they're very much a freak of the week show.
You know what? I found out something funny about Reverse Flash and Matt Letcher specifically. He always looks so plump in the Reverse Flash suit because they never made a Reverse Flash suit for him. They made it for Tom.
Yeah.
He's just Tom Cavanaugh.
And Tom is like half of Letcher's size.
Yeah.
And so Matt basically said, like, yeah, I was always shoved into the suit, and I don't think they made one for him until like a couple episodes into Legends.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Which I think is for a while is why he was running around his fucking Miami Vice jacket. It does work. He looks so badass in that jacket. And that episode where he's on the Wave Rider getting constantly blown around from room to room with Speed Force guns.
That explains his outfit in Narcos a little bit, actually. By the way, he's great in Narcos.
I'm not at all surprised because like I didn't know who the fuck he was until Flash, and then like on Legends, I was like, this guy can chew scenery.
Wasn't he on Wing?
That's the thing. You just forgot Zorro ever happened. That's the.
I've never seen Zorro.
Oh my god! I forgot that he's in that. He's one of the big bads.
Villain who cuts off people's heads and puts them in jars. It's we need to watch Zorro for the show sometime.
I am 100. I'll see if I can get Joe for that one.
They're both pretty good for the time.
Yeah.
Like that's what we just watched.
Well, because that's Antonio Catherine Zeta-Jones, right?
Yeah, and it's the director of GoldenEye, like right after GoldenEye.
The only one thing is Anthony Hopkins playing a Mexican.
He's a Spaniard. He's supposed to be Mexican. He's a Spaniard.
It's slightly less bad than Sean Connery playing a Spaniard via Egypt with a Japanese sword.
Right, and also like Spaniard. So that was like 1200. Spaniards at that time were Muslim.
Where Spain you're from?
Yeah,
no, Spanish.
And also like the Spaniards who invaded Central Americans were basically just like they were white Europeans, right? Who spoke Spanish.
Talking to like my grandmother is from Spain, so like but they're white with red hair. So like they were also invaded by the Vikings a lot. So you get blue eyes and stuff. Like my sister has blonde hair and blue eyes.
Stop poisoning our gene pool.
Stop. Yeah.
So we were left off at Laurel torturing Silencer. Felicity is kind of getting to the point where she's willing to do anything to get Oliver out of prison or at least find Diaz. Sure, her prime priority is getting Diaz. Like she wants to find Diaz and stop him, but Laurel's like, realize that we're not. And Laurel makes a point. She's like, we're no longer at stopping Diaz territory. We're at killing Diaz territory because this guy will not stop.
Mm-hmm.
Like prison or not, like we're at the point of no return, which is why I kind of like the fact that this villain's been around for so long at this point for these people that their only option left is to end it permanently.
Yeah, and the Richard Dragon solo episode from last season is starting to actually have some impact on things. When she talks about he waited 30 years to get revenge on somebody.
And she references like he will burn you alive.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
There was some more flash forward stuff. William and Roy go to Star City.
Yeah.
And they're
I'm
following
really
Old
loving
Roy
Old Roy, by
in
the
the
way.
Arrowhead. Huh?
I'm really loving Old Roy, by the way.
I like
yeah,
Old Roy too, because Old Roy is like, we get the fuck out of here. Like, what are we doing here?
I want to go. I don't want to be here.
I think this is the one time where we get a hint of what happened with Oliver in this future. Because
Yeah.
Dinah says something like, Roy, I never thought you'd come back here after like something with Oliver.
Right.
And apparently Williams never come back. So because they sent him away.
You think Oliver was like publicly lynched?
No, I think that everything went to shit in Star City because of something Oliver did. Like he basically is the reason why there's like a martial law. Because in their future, they also explain what like the Glades is like cordoned off, but that's like the place where like the elite live now.
Yeah, I guess. I wonder if this at all plays into what we saw at the beginning of last season of Legends with Argus like taking over.
Yeah, what's her name is from?
Yeah, like I wonder if it lines up at all, and it might be part of how that happens. Like I kind of want to. If they're not doing Crisis next year, they should do a whole crossover that's like a time travel thing.
Well, okay, this ties into the Flash leaks, the alleged Flash leaks. That there's supposed to be an event coming next season that will be basically to be an in-canon reboot of the timelines and basically kind of iron things out. So there is, because now we have Dark Central City from Legends of Tomorrow. That's
Right.
a divergent timeline.
yeah,
We have Zari's future, which is a divergent timeline. We have the future with Nora, which is potentially a divergent timeline. And then we have this future with Roy, Dinah, and old William.
mm-hmm.
Allegedly, there's supposed to be some kind of event that will basically like what Flashpoint did initially in the comics, which was bring all these timelines together, more or lless.
Uh-huh.
Oh, you're actually missing one of the futures because there's the future Ava's from.
Yes,
And
that too.
Like super clean one.
Yeah. So there's supposedly one of the leaks said like there's supposed to be some kind of event that brings all this together and ties it all up.
So it's
Right.
like a crisis event, but of time and not multiple universe.
Yeah.
Yes.
Some would say a days of future past.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's a good way of putting it too. Is that they're going to like iron out the timelines into one consistent thing. I think.
Yeah, and then
And it's supposed to.
This will get rid of Williams.
It's supposed to involve Thawne. It supposedly involves maybe a bit of Nora.
Yeah.
It's
Batman
supposed to. I fucking hope so.
It would be interesting if this is like a way to get rid of like Oliver, Felicity, and William, like Oliver Felicity relationship,
yeah,
and get rid of William altogether.
I don't know if William goes anywhere, to be honest.
Well, he's already gone. They already sent him to boarding school or wherever the hell they did.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Oh, I forgot about that. Holy
Yeah,
shit.
so that's why in this future he's like, this is the first time he's back in Star City since Felicity sent him away. He hasn't seen either of his parents since then.
Yeah. Which, like, I wonder if, like, maybe Oliver never got out of prison.
maybe.
And, like, there is thought that this new Green Arrow is someone from the future who is probably coming back to maybe prevent all of this nonsense from happening, so this future never takes place.
This is where we see the first hints of that, which is when we meet Dinah. Her throat had been slit, and she doesn't have her cry anymore.
Yeah.
And they cut to
I didn't even think about that. That means there must have been, like, an assault on metas.
Yeah, maybe.
But when they cut back in this episode to the fire thing, the guy's going to cut her throat, and that is when the Green Arrow shows up and stops him from cutting her throat.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Oh, you guys didn't pick up on that?
I didn't even put it together.
Yeah, they go like right from Dinah talking in the future to that. And then that's kind of because I'll just say he, as the new Green Arrow, saves her life. That's one of the reasons why she helps Wild Dog lift the thing up off of them.
Also, okay, we got to mention the more antics from the new Green Arrow. Like, okay, so there's arsonists that they're trying to catch. It's Renee and Dinah are working together to catch these arsonists. And without like the vigilantes around, like they're stuck operating within the system, but the system doesn't work fast enough, and they have limited resources. Blah blah blah. So they finally decide to partner up with the new Green Arrow, and they take down the arsonists. But like, there's a fire in like a movie theater, And Dinah basically says, like, there's fire alarms, but there's not enough sprinklers. I don't know if we can do with this. The new Green Arrow Spider-Man's up a fucking wall, grabs the water pipe, and pulls it off the wall.
It's so good. I love it so much.
I was like, that was fucking rad.
I think this is also because it's the reason she arrests him in the beginning, Renee, is that when they're having their community meeting about how shitty the Glades are, that place gets lit on fire. And basically the cops take, 15 minutes or 20 minutes to show up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's when everybody starts losing their shit on them?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, but that ending sequence, because the Dinah and Wild Dog lift the thing off of the Arrow because he's trapped after doing that Spider-Man shit. Because he, eats it. He falls through,
He falls like a scaffolding.
Yeah.
It's like a wrestling bump.
Yeah.
But he can't get out, but then he gets up and just moves on.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think he's a little out of it. He, she, them, whoever.
Yeah.
But this ends with another future flash forward where Roy and William go to Smoke Industries, and it's a fucking mess. Still has power though, which is weird. Because there's signs that are flickering on and off. I'm like, does it have is it self-sustaining? What's going on here?
Into that Legends thing because they go to Smoke Industries in that future.
Oh, that's right.
Which is where they find Diggle's kid, isn't it?
I think so.
He's going by Connor Hawk at that point, but it's John Jr.
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah. They go there and they find this little system that Felicity set up for Roy. Roy's familiar with it, so he opens this little safe. There's a bag inside of it. They get attacked by guards.
You're finding out how they get past the alarm system.
How do they get past the alarm system?
They hit a button, and there's the little things on the wall, and it's like digital tennis balls.
Oh, that's right.
And Roy has to take the bow out of the Green Arrow bow out of the thing and shoot the digital tennis balls, and that's the passcode.
Mm.
Oh, it's okay. Yeah, that's right.
Well, to tie into what Oliver used to do in season 1 and 2.
Yeah. But in this, and that's when Dinah saves them. Shows up and she doesn't use her eye. She just beats the fuck out of these guards with her bow, bow staff. I mean, they get a bag that's got a Rubik's cube in it, and this is also when we see Zoe, who is now grown up and is basically the new Black Canary.
But she doesn't have a crown. She's just in a black suit with a bow staff as well.
Yeah, and it also ties into at the end of this episode, towards the end of the present timeline, Dinah kind of calms down, goes to Renee, apologizes, and gives Zoe a gold canary pin that she's still wearing in the future, which I thought was cool. I'm like, all right, this is getting interesting. And this is when we find out that Felicity Smoke has been murdered, and we don't know who did it.
Mm-hmm.
And we have no idea what happened with Oliver, but something bad.
Yeah, something very.
And I do like the fact that this is, since it's going forward, there's all this stuff that really isn't spoken for, and when you're doing flashbacks, you can kind of fill in the blanks for yourself by kind of applying context in the present to it. But we have really nothing to go on for this timeline.
Yeah, and I'm curious to see how they handle it and how they dole out this information. And I'm more convinced than ever now that the new Green Arrow is a time traveler of some sort.
I think it has to be the way that they're setting it up, because I think that they're going into
this person's timing is divine.
Yeah.
Every single time. How did he know to save Zoe at that very moment?
Right. Yes, absolutely. Little things like that. He would only know to do that if he'd been there before.
If he was aware, or if he had very intimate details of how everything went down to the finest.
He had a sports almanac, but for the Arrowverse.
Wait a second. What if he's Time Remnant Barry?
It's fucking. It's just fucking Savitar Barry.
Yes, but he's been redeemed.
He's this is my redemption arc, and I'm like, go away.
Crossover. That's canon, guys. That's what we're leading up to. I don't know. But there's a lot of stuff that he could be. I could buy the Zoe thing though, because like I really did see like her in profile, and for a second I was like, that's not a dude. That doesn't look like a dude. Like,
No, it doesn't.
They're very small. Like they are smaller than everybody else they're around.
Yeah, and what's weird is that like I don't think they were that small in the first appearance or two as in New Green Arrow because like I think this is very deliberate.
well, so that's if we tear it apart a little bit. Wild Dog is very short.
Yeah.
So I think that's part of it. And he does appear to be a little bit taller than Wild Dog at times.
Well, the other thing is like I think it's episode 1 when New Green Arrow shows up and does that like obnoxiously awesome move where he like arrow bullet somebody and then like slingshotted them into a fucking storage crate that exploded.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, that was super strength. Like,
I definitely think this person's a meta to some degree. If not a meta, then just like extremely well trained. Like may actually be a member of the League of Shadows, because they had that level of skill.
If you really want to blow my mind, like this is so far from the possibility it's not even funny. Make it Sarah.
That would be insane.
That would be insane. Fucking awesome.
Or it's a third, or I mean, it could be like Sarah's. No, it couldn't be Sarah's daughter. I mean, it could be Sarah's like time traveling daughter or something. You know?
Yeah.
Who was like raised by the League.
Yeah.
Or it could be some weird like. All right. What about this? Since they say they can't use Shadow, what if Oliver at some point has a kid with either Nissa or Talia?
Oh, that could.
Or has Lady Shiva been used yet?
No. Mentioned, I believe.
I don't think she was used. No, because they used Roulette.
They've used quite a few of the female League members, but Shiva, I think, is one that they've never.
I would say I'm not saying that it could be Lady Shiva, but I'm saying that maybe that's an affiliation we could see.
That would be interesting. I mean, they'll never do this, but they could make it Cassandra, Cassie.
Ooh, that would be interesting.
The second Batgirl. That who?
She's working right now. Yes. Yeah. The one that's kind of mute.
Yeah, and her costume is like it covers her whole face.
Yeah, it looks very ragtag.
And she was trained by Lady Shiva.
Yeah. In current continuity, she's Lady Shiva's daughter.
Yeah.
I mean, if you really want to throw us for a fucking loop, and you want us to just like do like a hip hop reaction to this, it's someone like Jason Todd or like Tim Drake or someone from the Batverse.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to be, but I like the fact that we had fun with Zoom's identity and we had fun with Savitar's identity, but we also understood the limitations of who they could be because because fucking Tim Drake wasn't going to be a speedster. And Savitar's origin was very much tying into Barry himself from the Flash TV show. And Zoom for a minute, we're all like, I think there was a tease as early as like the first half of the season where, quote unquote, Jay Garrick took Caitlin to a park and said, "Yep, there's my Earth One doppelganger, Hunter Zolomon."
They could be pulling another chase on us, though. That's the other option. Is that this is another situation where this character is normally this or that, but that's not who they are in this version.
The only other thing I could think of that would be a really interesting twist, I don't know how they would get there, but if it was Robert Queen.
Whoa.
Because like in that New 52 run with like the totems and stuff, that was the big reveal, is that he's not dead.
That would be hard to explain.
Maybe Oliver just hallucinated that whole thing.
Well, I mean,
on the draft.
If he's the new Arrow again, like he's too, that guy is big. Like,
yeah, well, and that actor's also like 60.
Right.
It's Jay Garrick. It's John.
Like, God damn it! Yes, it's him. That would be. I mean, hell, it's Tom Cavanaugh. That's who it is.
Man, if the new Green Arrow was Harrison Wells from like Earth fucking 15 or some shit like that.
I can't wait. I love it. That's the thing. They can make it anybody, and I would kind of be okay with it as long as it made some sense.
As long as here's the thing, this network of shows did great with initial mysteries and then started to fuck up.
Mhm.
And I think Savitar is like the most egregious one because all of the other possibilities were
better.
way more interesting than what we got, and the problem was what we got was so predictable that the disappointment was exponentially worse.
I still don't accept that Savitar wasn't Robbie. That's in my head canon.
But that actually ties into one of the things they did something that was going on almost simultaneously in the comics at the time.
The Once and Future Flash, right?
Yes, that was happening like right at the same time.
Was it happening right at the same time, or was it happening?
Like it happened just before it. Like,
and I feel like that might be something to avoid, like doing it at the exact same time. Like,
I think, and the other thing was people were like, "It's a big blue high-tech armored suit," and the Once and Future Flash wore a big blue electric armored suit. Like, come on. And other parts of it was like the Once in Arlen. Have you read the Once and Future Flash?
No, but I've had it described to me. Just
okay, yeah, like
I think
he's going back to get rid of Barry because if he gets rid of Barry, then like all of the bad stuff that happened to everybody will be undone. And it has to do with being stuck on the Speed Force, and it has to do with it's like time duplicates and all kinds of stuff like that. So yeah, like it was so predictable, it's not even funny. But like with this, I really don't know what direction they're going, and I really enjoy it. And normally, when these shows are this good, we don't talk about them for this long. But they're this interesting to the point where we can start peeling this back layer by layer by layer and really have fun with it. And this kind of
it's part of the thing that's cool with the multiple storylines happening at the same time in like these different locations that they're all 100% going to tie into each other.
Mhm.
There's no way that what's going on in the prison is not going to tie into what's going on in the future / what's going on in Star City and Felicity. And then this is the last one we're doing, right?
Yeah.
Okay, because there's like another storyline that gets added in the next episode that I'm like, this also has to connect somehow, somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I like what they're doing because it's very 12 Monkeys, very as I said before, Days of Future Past, and it's an interesting storytelling dynamic that I don't think DC has really done that. Like aside from that one story actually with Terry, they don't really play around with time travel.
Oh, okay. I scrolled down on Wikipedia, and the identity of the demon really should have been obvious to us from the start.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say
That's so on the nose. I didn't even think about it,
and it works because I've seen the episode. It works.
Arlen, do you want to just take a stab?
No, I can't. I don't want to watch it. I want to be surprised. So
okay,
yeah.
If you think about that name hard enough, you'll go, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I have guesses. I mean, my first guess is like Talia or Nissa. So yeah, but I don't know. We'll see. Yeah.
When was the last time we saw Nissa?
Last season.
It was a while ago. We saw Talia. We saw Talia and Nissa on the island.
Okay, yeah, that was the last time we saw them.
Yeah.
Wait. Who showed up? I thought Nissa showed up last season.
Did she?
No, did she?
Because she does. Because she has a weird thing with Felicity where she's like, she keeps calling Oliver husband.
Oh yes, and she says sister wife.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh God, that's right.
Yeah, she's like Felicity is like, can you please stop calling him husband? And she's like, no.
Right, and she's very protective of Earth 2 Laurel. Is that? Yeah.
Yes, because she had a thing with Laurel.
Right, and
because she helped train Laurel for a minute.
She feels defensive of the entire Lance clan, really.
Yeah,
because of her connection to Sarah. Yeah, that's right. I completely forgot about that. But the last time I remember seeing Talia was on the island. I don't know if we saw anything from her.
Yeah, no, I love that her appearance last season because like there's a point where like Felicity's like typing on her computer and Nissa's like right over her shoulder and Felicity's like, please give me some space. She's like, I will not.
Which, and we keep talking about the island. There's one other option which I can give 0% chance that it could be.
Okay.
Artemis.
Oh God! Oh God! No.
she's so dead at this point. It's not even funny. Like,
She said they didn't give her a grave. They gave everybody
literally nobody has referenced Artemis since that episode.
Yeah,
nobody.
I think playing Artemis has referenced Artemis.
They referenced the betrayal that like Oliver didn't see it coming.
Yeah. Oh yeah, right. That's right. He was, but
I think in actually this episode 4, when the therapist, I think they bring it up that like, I think it gets brought up again, but they always bring up that like, yeah, he was just like blinded.
Right. I think they do talk about it a little.
Yeah.
bit.
Okay. No one ever referenced what happened to her. Like the last we saw her locked in a cage, and that's it. Like the island blew up. You're like, I guess she's dead. Like, talk about it. Are we not?
It's that comic book thing, though. No body, no dead. So,
here's the thing. Oh no. John said he's coming back.
Yeah, but he's also been back in a time travel way as well. But like,
well, I think the fact that there was no body is the fact that he will probably be back as main line.
He needs to be back because he's awesome.
Yeah. I think everyone realizes like, no, he pulls in a lot of like energy to this show, and I think it's really foolish to get permanently. Like Thawne, like we're never getting Thawne. Like,
he's that show's Thawne. Yeah, he's.
Well, and I like the fact that Thawne is basically this universe's. I was thinking about the other day. Eobard Thawne has contended with every single superhero on this pocket of shows, more or less.
Yeah,
I would say there's one new bigger one, which is Black Lightning, but that's in like a weird situation.
Yeah, right. Like because he started with Barry. He has fought Firestorm. He has fought Oliver. He told Oliver when he was going to die.
Yep.
He fought Supergirl.
He taunted Supergirl, then said, "Yeah, totally fought your cousin. I'm faster than he is. Ha ha." Has contended with all the legends. He ripped Adam's heart out. And then fought them again in the crossover.
I can still kick your ass, Raymond.
I can still kick your ass. I don't need gravity to kick your ass, Raymond.
So good. Yeah. I think we're just spitting now. So
we are. I think we're actually just we're kind of ruminating in like the glow of loving these shows again because like Arrow was good last year and Arrow was a good season before, but like Flash really fucking brought us down the last 2 seasons.
Oh, and Supergirl. Flash and Supergirl were
Supergirl last year, especially. That was so.
Yeah, Supergirl was so bad we didn't even finish it.
Yeah, it was. Supergirl was not like Flash was worse, but Supergirl was so not. It was bad that it was just I didn't care. Like Flash was bad and I hated it.
Also, I expected more from Supergirl. As someone who roots for that show hard, that was just disappointing.
And I would say that the fact that both of those shows have turned around speaks a lot to the fact that they did not have a showrunner.
Yes, and like, I mean, this isn't like a mystery in the world. Like, yeah, when your showrunner disappears halfway through because of things, your show usually falls apart.
Yeah, like look at the fucking Walking Dead. The Walking Dead like changes showrunners like every fucking 6 months it seems.
Well, not, like I mean, even go back to the 2008 writer strike. J.J. Abrams couldn't do anything on Lost, and none of his other producers could. So that show fell apart.
And you can look at movies too, because like not to say Transformers 2 would have been a great movie, but like that movie is a fucking disaster because of the writing strike.
If it weren't a movie that was written in a hotel room and over a week, like, I guarantee it would have been better.
And like, I think Michael Bay has come out and said, like, yeah, there's stuff in the movie that doesn't make any sense because we just didn't have any scriptwriters. Like, we were filling in holes as we went along.
Yeah. So we can imagine that the robot balls were his idea of just
probably. Also, like, I finally like Guggenheim got some kind of award recently. I saw like I didn't know how many different things he's actually worked on.
Yeah.
Even recently.
Yeah. I mean he wrote the script for Green Lantern, famously.
Well, one of the 12 that got turned into that piece of shit.
Yes. One of the many.
It sucks, Alan. Stop trying to defend it.
Oh, that movie is terrible.
That movie's bad. A man builds a race car track out of energy to kind of bad guy to.
Did you see the best part of that movie is Mark Strong and what's his name is Kilowog.
Yeah.
Mark Strong as Sinestro is one of the best
perfect
castings I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And what was his name from Green Mile?
That one too, but the one that nobody talks about is fucking Barbosa as
Jeffrey Rush as shit.
as a Gil boy, Gil man. Gil
I don't
Finn.
remember that. I don't remember that lantern's name.
Gil-
Is it Tomar Ray, the
Tomar-
fish?
Yes.
The
Yeah.
fish beat guy? Yeah.
Yeah,
I did not know that's Jeffrey Rush.
Like the casting in the movie is solid.
I think Ryan Reynolds is a pretty good Hal Jordan. Like,
He's a little too nice.
Yeah, and
Hal Jordan's supposed to be a douche.
Yeah.
And Taika Waititi is also great in that movie.
Oh my god,
who is he in that movie?
He's like the funny sidekick guy. Like he's
his roommate buddy guy.
yeah. He's like
okay, I forgot about that.
Yeah, or as Lou would know, Pete from Smallville. Yeah, he's kind of that. He does that role. Yeah, I don't know what we're doing now. What are we talking about?
I don't know. We can wrap up now.
Spiraling into talking about something bad because these things have been good.
Anyway, Guggenheim kept the ship together as best as he could.
Yeah, I just didn't know how much he was actually working on or been involved in. That kind of explains why he couldn't be the guiding hand to make sure those two shows, which like Supergirl was a big thing because they got it from the other networks. So they're like, don't cancel this. We'll take it. We'll produce it here. And, you guys have to worry about it. And we'll incorporate it into this pocket of shows, which is a very good idea. And Flash, I don't think Flash could afford to fail.
Yeah.
No, Flash is the second pillar of the CW verse. That's why it's the Arrowverse.
Yeah. I like how people are like, the Arrowverse. I'm like, it's the CW verse now. It's
Yeah.
I know it started with Oliver Queen, but really this, as much as I hate to admit it, I don't think if we didn't have Smallville, I don't think we'd have this pocket of shows.
No, absolutely. Half the people that work on these shows, not the actors.
Yeah.
I think Guggenheim worked on that too, didn't he?
I think he did, and I think out of all the attempts that DC and Warner Brothers have made together to get this stuff off the page onto a screen somewhere and make it some kind of cohesive universe, this is the thing I'm the most thankful for, because this stuff has just continuously been overall just totally joyful and wonderful and such a good it's very comic indulgent, and it's fun to enjoy it as a comic book fan because you get stupid shit like all this stuff like Elseworlds. I put that teaser on Andy's wall, and I'm hoping he's reacted to it so far because he saw a couple things from the Elseworld teaser, and he's like, I'm behind in these shows. He's like, but now I have to catch up because this looks fascinating.
And one of my favorite things is that they will tease characters way deep. The fact that I don't remember, is it episode 2 or 3 of Legends where they give us the Swamp Thing joke from Constantine?
I once knew a Swamp Thing.
Yeah. It's but this is a little bit far from Louisiana. He says something like that.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, I think we can wrap up now.
Yeah.
I've been kind of keep an eye on it. Sure, we got some good stuff coming out. We're going into our Christmas month. We just watched Santa's Sleigh, Goldberg, my God, piece of trash. Thanksgiving films, home Thanksgiving slasher. It's only 2 films out there, which is not. Soon, Julie will be making her debut in the show, torment us with what's a Hallmark level quality movie called The Holiday Switch.
Oh my!
It sounds like a Freaky Friday situation, but themed.
Mm.
So there's enjoy that, and we got some other stuff coming up. And Lawnmower Man is the next mainline episode we're doing. Stick around.
Yep. Let's see. Hunter isn't here, so I'll plug the MASH.
Don't follow him anywhere.
Yeah, don't follow him. He and Alan are doing a great job running Los Haro Games right now, so go do that and catch us on MASH, Monster MASH podcast. Once a month, talk monster movies and things like that. We have guests every single month because why not? So yeah, check out the Hellboy episode with Connor Irving. And sometime in the future, check out an episode with these two fellows here also.
Yes.
Yeah.
I can pick a monster.
Yeah, assuming you can pick a monster that not everybody knows just by like imagining it.
Yeah. Okay. Is there anything else, or should I go?
Yeah.
So you can check out me and Alan do the Smallville Chronicles as part of the Phantom Zone. Pops up every Wednesday or Thursday. We just got started back in. We're in season 2. I talking about Lost Horror games. I was just on last night, the newest episode where we talked about Red Dead and Red Dead Online and government getting into loot boxes, seeing what's up with them. And
government might be coming for Bethesda too.
Yeah. Well, it's not like they're that far away. It's only like 20 minutes outside of DC.
They walk right down the road.
Yeah. Yeah, and then there should be 2 other shows that should be coming out at any time in the near future. The comics and cartoons. And that's it.
Yeah.
We're trying, folks. We're producing a shitload of content.
Next week we have to review 9 hours of television. So like,
I know. And next week is 100th episode of Flash. So yeah, we're gonna be busy, and I can't wait for that.
That might need to be maybe like a special.
Maybe we also have to cover this Netflix stuff at some point. Yeah. So it's like I think we're gonna condense a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I guess bye.
Make Arrow great again. And it is.
Adios.